everyone, my name is Frances, and this is my first time performing at Tuesday Night Cafe, so I'm kind of nervous. But a little background about me is that I write a lot of love poems, and usually it doesn't really take me that long to write a love poem, but this one that I'm about to share for all of you, I feel like it's been writing itself for all of my life. So enjoy. My parents came to America in their early 20s, coexisting in the soil of their homeland of Vietnam, and the stories their families told for years, and the rumbling of the trees and the humid air that brushed past them. They met for the very first time when my dad caught a glimpse of my mom, with the refugee of Malaysia becoming their common ground. They only had time for fleeting glances and unspoken words because they carried the responsibility of their entire families on their shoulders. I can imagine him being left speechless, left breathless, from the beauty and the strength and the struggle she carried in every step she took. I can imagine him saying, "When will I ever see her again?" My parents came to America in the early 20s with plans of success and growth. Years spent in a foreign land, they finally made enough to bring their families across the Pacific. My dad met my mom for the second time in California, bumping into her cousin in the skirts of 626 in a supermarket. Through phone calls and persistence, my dad met my mom for the third time, for the fourth, for the fifth, and the every other th time. It left them speechless and breathless as the very first time. When their eyes met for milliseconds, their paths intersecting but their bodies constantly moving to keep up with the changes in their country. They could finally speak to each other in native tongues, but in a foreign land. My parents coexisted long before their initial encounter, and far before fate brought them together twice on opposite sides of the globe. Their love existed in the water that guided the ships, in the blood and the sweat and the tears of their parents and every parent before them, in the war that tore everything apart but brought everything and everyone together. My parents came to America in their early 20s, and when my dad met my mom for the very first time, and when he finally talked to her for the very first time, it must have felt like he had known her for all of his life. Thank you.